Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a Wednesday Hump Day edition of the JP Peterson Show. We got lots to get to today. An historic time for your Tampa Bay Rays, which is hopefully going to be a very, very interesting next 3 years as we get to the stadium build. And a big night for the Rays as well with a win over the Marlins. Their new guy, Christopher Morel, stepping up. So we'll hit that a little bit. And also the Bucs night practice was super, super fun. And a lot of new kids on the block making an impact and what that will mean for the Buccaneers this year. Could be the difference between being a playoff team and a really, really, really good playoff team. So we'll talk about that as well. The Olympics were absolutely scintillating yesterday with the women's team competition, the great comeback for Simone Biles. And, of course, we'll talk about the other things going on at the Olympics, like the Poop River. Maybe they'll have the triathlon today, or maybe someone will take another dump in the Paris streets and they won't be able to. Good, on that note, good morning to you, Tim Ham, from our Dallas affiliate, DSP Media. What's up, my friend? How are you?
Oh, it's all right. I might have made my own poop river last night here in Texas. I'm just telling you.
Okay, good to know.
Things going on.
Well, at least they don't have to worry about doing a triathlon in the Dallas.
There's nobody swimming in it, though.
Is there a river in Dallas? Is there any water in Dallas whatsoever?
Oh, yeah. Trinity River's the reason. Yeah, where Dallas is right on the – actually, Dallas and Fort Worth are on separate forks of the same river. That's where they were founded. Like they're on 30 miles apart on the west fork of the Trinity River and the east fork of the Trinity River.
Oh, I did not know that.
But the Trinity River is not something known. I don't know. You might not want to swim in the Trinity River either. It's
very much like the Seine, yeah.
It's kind of known for its uncleanliness, maybe some dead bodies floating around in it.
Nice. A nice toxic smell. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a body of water when I've been in Dallas.
For 100 years, they've been we got like lakes literally everywhere. There's lakes everywhere, but they're all man-made. But they've literally been talking about doing the Trinity River project as it goes through downtown to develop it, right? And
like make a river walk.
Make it like an actual river with shops and concert venues and crap along the river.
Here in Tampa, like San Antonio.
We got Dallas can't get anything right, man. I'm telling you. I swear.
And there's a lot of that going around in government these days. So,
ridiculous.
A lot of it. The $1.5 billion fix to clean up the Seine River for the Olympics that was just wasted.
We talked after the show yesterday. Euros. After the show, we talked off the air yesterday. They could have built a freaking swimming pool stadium for $1.5 billion, right? Like
for the triathlon, yes.
What do you
they could have used again, and now no. So good stuff. We'll get into all that stuff as we go through here on the JP Peterson Show. All right, I want to start with our Tampa Bay Buccaneers last night. Night practice. You got a little bit different feeling out there. Place was absolutely packed with Buccaneers fans. And you can just feel the anticipation for this upcoming season. And it really struck me last night in watching all the festivities. A couple things. Number one, you go back to the Super Bowl season and you remember the impact that Tristan Wirfs made. And you really need, if you're going to be a Super Bowl team, you need young players to step up, sometimes even in their first year, as Tristan Wirfs did at right tackle. But you need to have some real contributions from your draft class. And this draft class and last year's draft class, these two, the younger players that are, ain't making squat, you got to get contributions from them and big contributions. And as I watched last night, I said to myself, and you never know. It's still just 2 days in pads, so you just don't know. But first and foremost, Jalen McMillan is going to have a major impact on this team. I mean, and I know last night Mike Evans and Chris Godwin weren't out there. But even so, when those two guys are out there playing and going 11 on 11, Baker is still looking for 15. He's looking for 15 all the time. And 15 is always open. And yes, that's Jalen McMillan's number if you have not familiarized yourself yet with the rookie roster. And so I was texting with Sal Palantonio, who's coming to town next week to do one-on-ones. We'll get him on the show. And I was telling him, I said, this kid's for real. And I'm thinking about it. I mean, if he's what we think he is, and this, his college numbers would suggest that this is possible. The only reason he was taken in the third round was because of injury concerns, not because of his abilities. That Baker Mayfield could be throwing to 3 number ones. I think Jalen McMillan has a chance to be a number 1 receiver in this league. And obviously Godwin, is a definitely a 1B receiver. Mike Evans is clearly a Hall of Famer, still very much in his prime, or maybe just on the back nine. Phenomenal player, came in phenomenal shape, is going to have another tremendous year. So you got him as a clear number 1. Godwin, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, coming off a knee injury, ridiculous, and looks as good as he's ever looked. And now Jalen McMillan. And let's not forget, that was the recipe for the Super Bowl success. And I understand. There was a different dude under center. Okay, I get it. But Baker Mayfield has been showing off an elite arm. Last night, he threw a ball, Timmy, from the right hash, but down the right sideline, 35 yards on a freaking line. A streaking Kate Otten who was going up the sideline in between the corner and the safety on the cover 2. So you can't loft that ball. You got to throw it on a line. You got it right over the top of the corner in front of the safety. And let me tell you what, he threw that ball. I just went as one of those balls where, I've seen it a few times with my live eyes. Most recently when Justin Herbert came to town a few years ago, and you saw him make a couple of throws and you just went, whoa, what the hell was that? You saw it with Brady. Brady, still at 44 had a freaking cannon. And you just make throws and you just go, whoa. I saw it with Brett Favre as a freshman in Southern Mississippi in 1987, where he threw a ball and you just went, as you're sleeping in the Hattiesburg press box, watching another terrible game, you go, well, what the hell was that? And he continued to do it for the rest of the. So you've seen it a few times in my life where you just go, wow. And that was one of those throws. I mean, Baker is absolutely him. And I've been reading some stuff that he's not, he's had some tough moments. He threw a pick last night and almost threw, but these are picks that I'm not very concerned about, because they're more about trying to get the ball downfield, see how much you can bite off. They're not throws that he would make in a game. Right. These are training camp throws, trying to fit balls into places, get some reps for the receivers, see if they can make combat catches. This is all Baker knows he's got the job. I've even heard people saying, "Oh, Kyle Trask." I mean, will you shut up?
Come on,
Jesus Christ, just shut up. Well, Baker threw a couple of bad balls the other day. He, quote, bad balls. I'm sitting there and this is actually going national now because actually somebody wrote about it. And there was one ball where Jalen McMillan was going down the sideline and just stopped. It clearly stopped to get separation from the defensive back when he didn't need to, because he didn't think Baker could throw it that far. And it missed him. He overthrew it by 3. Clearly, if you weren't watching, you'd say, oh, that was an overthrow. No, that was clearly on Jalen McMillan. And then Trey Palmer did the same thing on a corner route. He turned the wrong way. And he's, Baker can't complete the deep ball. No, he turned the wrong way. Now, when he's throwing with Godwin and Evans, those guys know how to make adjustments, and they know Baker's arm better. So those deeper balls are being completed. He threw a post to Palmer the other day, about 40 yards over the middle of the field, that hit him dead in stride. So this notion that he's not hitting the deep ball is ridiculous.
Well, and what most people don't understand about training camp, and this is true of every single team, and sometimes quarterbacks look like they're not having a good day, or they look like they threw a bad pass or a bad pick. And of course, this isn't true on every play that this happens, but a lot of times the offense and the defense know what each other are going to run. They do that on purpose so they can run drills for specific situations, right? So when a quarterback throws a pick on a deep out or something, the defender knew exactly where the ball was going to go. He just beat the receiver. It wasn't a bad throw. That's why it's training camp and it's practice. It wasn't an interception. It was designed that way.
Yeah, it was that one. We saw one of those last night.
Yeah.
But we also saw Baker hit some big throws to Jalen McMillan and Kate Otten. And again, Evans and Godwin weren't out there. So he made some nice throws. But Jalen's going to be a phenomenal receiver. When you got three guys, when you got three number ones in a spread offense, and these guys are going to be going, they're going to be going three wide. That's their base offense. First of all, you got to play nickel. So now you're spread out, and nickel's much lighter boxes to run into, spread out. So this helps your run game. We even heard yesterday a couple of defenders that we've talked to in the last few days talking about how predictable Dave Canales' offense was last year. And they still got it done in terms of going to the playoffs. And the offense really clicked at times in the postseason against Green Bay, against Philadelphia, against the Lions. I mean, they scored points. So this offense is so totally different, and it's perfect if you have three number one wide receivers. That your base offense is three wide. So how the hell you're going to be covering all three of these guys that are that good? And Baker's got chemistry with all of them.
Right.
I mean, good luck. But that's that strong contribution you're getting from a rookie that you didn't have last year. And I think Jalen's going to have a huge year. Now, and Kate Otten has gotten better and bigger as a tight end. So he's become a much more dependable tight end. That's another weapon. And Rachaad White, I think, given the spread offense and more holes, he's a guy that makes you miss in the open field. He will have much more opportunities to do that. They were using him in the short passing game last night, getting him out in open space. He's hard to tackle. He's hard to tackle in open space in Rachaad White. So, again, more weapons. And then you have this kid, Bucky Irving. This little number 7 looks a lot like number 28 from many years ago in Warwick Dunn. This kid's got some moxie. He's got some flash, and he's got a burst that is just special.
Florida State kid, right? Warwick Dunn with Florida
Warwick
State.
Dunn was, yeah, absolutely. Covered him from being the first day he stepped on campus at Florida State after his tragic murder of his mother.
Yeah,
we all know that story. Almost went home too, but they put him with Charlie Ward, and the two of them were like two peas in a pod.
It's a great story. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that apartment was very loud. There wasn't a whole lot of words spoken. They just kind of probably walked around and nodded at each other a lot. Two of the greatest human beings I've ever met.
Right.
To this
Very
day.
quiet though.
Yeah, good people. Just such good people. But this kid he's got a special burst to him. Last night, I saw for the first time, Timmy, the NFL new kickoff formation.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. Bizarre.
What do you think?
Bizarre. Just
Man,
watching it, I'm going, is this because they were doing a lot of drills, but before they got started with 11 on 11, I'm like, is this another special teams drill? I'm like, no,
kind of,
but it's like, this is what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I love it.
Okay, so the ball gets kicked.
Nobody can move.
Back is back there. Nobody can move. The guy's back there, and then Bucky Irving takes it at about the 1 yard line. Now everybody's moving. So they're coming together, and he makes one cut.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Yep.
Just gone down the sideline. And just that special burst that you've seen from certain guys, and he's got it. And he is going to be one hell of a kick returner, I think. I asked Bowles about that last night, and he was like, he big old Shiz eating grin on his face. He's like, oh, well, we're working him in there. Yeah, he's got a shot to be that guy. I'm like, yeah, he sure does. I would be shocked if it's anyone else but number 7. And now that's an offensive play. That's a real offensive play. And a guy like that in space, you don't want to be getting a lot of kickoffs, but at least the opening kickoff, be nice to return that thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and predict today that Bucky Irving will score a kickoff return touchdown for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year.
Ooh.
Mark it down. Mark the time.
Well, you and I are used to seeing growing up watching football. There were 3 kick return plays, right?
Right.
Kick return left, kick return middle, kick return right. Well, dude, that's out the window now because you're going to have set plays against certain personnel that a team can run depending on what the defensive, so-called kick return defense is going to be in different personnel. And, dude, I think it's going to be one of the most exciting plays in the game. Look, I covered it They did this in the 2020 version of the XFL, and then when it came back in 2022, they did it. And to me, it's weird they're not doing it now in the UFL, right? After the XFL and USFL merged.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're not doing it, but to me, it was one of the most exciting plays that you could see on the field. And it was I thought it was great, man. It was great.
So nobody knows what it's going to be, and there'll be adjustments made, right? To how these, it's played, how it's blocked, how it's defended. Yep. But I think you're going to see some explosive plays out of Bucky Irving, and not only just obviously in the return game, but within the offense. I mean, I've seen him enough now in 2 days in pads that he has really good vision. And that's the thing about these small explosive guys. They're just so damn hard to find.
Right.
You look, if you're a linebacker or safety or coming up or you're at the second level, it's just you see bodies, flash, opening, hole opens, dude, and he's, it's just so fast. And he's gone. It's going to be so hard to find him and then tackle him. So, because he can break tackles as well. He's got a thick lower body. So I think those two cats are going to be, without question, big time contributors. So I think you're going to get two of those guys that make a difference and make this team different in terms of their speed and their ability to make plays, explosiveness, which is something the Bucs need. You got to have those explosive plays if you're going to be a good football team. And then you have Graham Barton at center. We had talked to him for about 10 minutes yesterday, and I continue to kind of focus on him. And in the 11-on-11s, there was a couple of plays back-to-back running plays. The first one, he fired out to the right side and didn't have a combo block. He was just going right to the second level. And let me tell you what, he got on KJ Britt so freaking fast. I mean, it was like a dart. And he was off the ball and he was up in him and he sealed him. Running back went right off his ass for about 15, 20 yards. Rashad White it was. I mean, I was like, that was impressive. That's just showing his athleticism, his body positioning, his technique. And KJ Britt is one of the best. Todd Bowles will tell you he's our best downhill linebacker. He'll come up and thump you, get off the block, and make the play. It was so fast that I don't think he ever really got a chance to even get his hands out and be there. So, and then the very next play, they run left, and Vita Vea is in the gap, and he combo blocks on Vita Vea and literally knocked him. He didn't fall down, but he kind of knocked his leg out. So he hit him with enough thump to affect him. And that allowed him to get to the second level on that nice bounce block, that combo block. So it was a nice thump with at a good angle. And then he was up on the second level. And I believe it was 44 who went right off his ass and who had a good night as well. Really, really. And you just yes, that's a difference maker. That's a difference maker. Hainsey couldn't get off the freaking line. Their center last year. He just couldn't. He wasn't fast enough to get to the second level in time, and he wasn't big enough to bounce off guys and have an effect on that double team and get to the second level. He's just too slow. And this makes all the difference in the world in an angle blocking scheme and have a center that's this fast and this effective. So you get three guys right there on the offensive side that I think are going to make major differences on the offense. So now you're taking a team that went to the playoffs last year, and you're improving it, in my mind, dramatically on the offensive side. You've got a better offensive coordinator, a better offensive game plan that moves it into the the new age NFL, the 3 wide. Right. And Liam Cohen, the guy who knows how to spread out and run the football. And just because he's 3 wide doesn't mean they're passing all the time. But you've got those, and now Baker's got options at all 3 receiver positions, that guys that know how to get open and catch the football. And that which makes them number ones. That's why they're number ones. They can get open, they can create their own separation, they run great routes, they have the physical ability, and they have that special talent of being able to adjust to the pass and catch the ball and attack it. And that's what makes great receivers. So you've got those 3 things, and you've got a running game that I think is going to be vastly improved. This is what you got to have to take that next step. This is what the Lions have done. This is what these improving teams have done. Meanwhile, the teams that we believe are the best, the 49ers, their number 1 receiver is not practicing, and their number 1 tackle is not practicing in holdouts. I mean, by the way, Tristan Wirfs was out there last night, did not do 11-on-11, but I'm very I saw him with his little baby, by the way.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh my God. So cute. And he said yesterday the baby's 17 or 14 pounds, 17 or 14 pounds, 4 months old.
That's another hey, he's breeding offensive linemen, apparently.
He is.
Good Lord.
He is. I'm like, holy crap. And so cute. So cute.
Real quick, before I pass things over to Peter here, Michael commented on the kickoffs, will it still be illegal to make a wedge on a kick return? Can't wait to watch Irving. So, yeah, you can't really do a wedge because your blockers are 20, 25 yards in front of the kick returner now.
Yeah.
So that's just not a feasible thing. But on the other side of that coin is the opposing attackers or whatever, the tacklers, are only 5 yards offset from the defending from the blockers.
Right.
So you're going to get it almost just like a punt, right? It's almost like a punt return.
Yeah.
But you're even farther back as a kick returner from all of the action, and you just don't have what this does is it prevents the full speed running at each other head to head collisions that the league's trying to do away with. And I just think it makes for a much better play on a kickoff. It's much more exciting. You know, like they revamped the extra points, which they needed to do 50 years ago to move it back, which is great for the game. I think they should move it. It's 33 yards. I think they should make it a 45-yard extra point to push the 2-point conversion more in the game. But this is just going to be a bigger scoring opportunity. It makes for an exciting play. You're not going to be jumping up off the couch to go grab a beer or yell at your wife because your sandwich wasn't good enough when they kick off, because you're going to want to watch the kickoff and crap like that.
No
People wonder why I've been
3
divorced 3 times. Yeah, I mean, that's when I hear myself say it out loud, then I realize, oh, wait, I probably should have done that. But anyway, hey, good to join you guys. I want to pass things over to Peter, somebody who knows something about sports instead of just me.
Oh, stop it. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Talk to you guys later.
During the power outage for Peter. What's up, Peter? Good morning to you.
What's going on, buddy? Yes, thank you.
Got a little power outage there?
Yeah, a little power outage. As I'm trying to work on content, you said, "Get me content. Give me
some content, bro. Let's go."
And I got content, and then all of a sudden the power goes out about 9:15. So we're kind of like rushing around here, and then it kind of finally comes on here. So welcome, man. Good morning to you, and yeah, it's been kind of an interesting week, to say the least.
We're just talking about night practice last night. Of course, you were there with me last night as we're tweeting out all the good stuff, and I'm making the point this morning that these 3 new guys on offense, you need to get great contributions from your rookies, your first and your second-year players to take that next leap from a playoff team to a Super Bowl team. And I've been saying, a lot that I don't think this team can win the Super Bowl. I think they can go deep into the playoffs, but I may stop saying that because the 49ers, do not have Brandon Ayuk or Trent Williams practicing right now. And who knows what the chemistry on that team is. Yeah, it's still a very good football team, but will those guys even play? Will they be traded? I don't know. Bucs don't have those issues. But I'm starting to see these young kids grow. And at this point, Jalen McMillan is a budding number 1 receiver in this league waiting to happen. So now you say Baker's got 3 number 1s, and Baker's been smoking hot. And I have great confidence in him. He is going to prove the doubters so wrong. And I just can't wait for so many of them to just eat it. So I love this offense. Now defensively, you need contributions as well. What Yaya Diaby did to Payne Durham last night is illegal. Well, it is illegal in many states.
Yes,
it is illegal in many states.
Yes,
he literally on this play bumped him up in the hole, and then like hit the running back while he was engaged. So you're not tackling him to the ground in training camp. So he just knocked the running back over and then finished Payne off with a hip. What do you call it in wrestling? The hip toss, one arm throw. Tossed him on the ground, 260-pound man.
Full Nelson,
whatever.
Body slam.
Just body slammed him on the ground.
I told you we were going to talk wrestling on this show eventually. It would become a staple on the JP Peterson show.
Except this wasn't scripted. This was like, and then the next play, it's a jet sweep, and he's running down whoever it was on the jet sweep. I think it was Palmer. He's running him down on the edge. I'm like, Jiminy freaking Christmas.
Yeah.
This guy is just wrecking Shiz all over the place. Yep. So in his second year, this guy, I think, is going to take a humongous leap. And I think he's, 12 plus sacks, this year, 7.5 last year. I think he gets a double digits and more. And Kalijah Cansey, if he can stay healthy, is going to be a problem for other teams.
Yes.
And Vita Vea looks freaking great. He is moving like so much differently. The svelte Vita Vea. But I'm talking about the new guys. So those two guys, Cansey in his second year, really going to be his first year because he was so set back last year by the injury. And Yaya in his second year are just going to be monsters on that defense. And then you look at Tyke Smith. Tyke Smith, we talked to him yesterday. Here's another dude that comes in and is so polished and so professional. I don't know if you saw in the current thing on the Bucs website. It was absolutely fantastic about the draft class, and he's up on the and they've had it in some other spaces as well. He's up on the grease board, just running down, going through the mental stuff, and they're asking him questions about what do you do here, and he's just crushing it. So here you get another guy that's coming in it feels like a seasoned professional, and coming from Georgia. I mean, Georgia should be playing in the NFC South. I mean, they should. Let's just be honest. That's a professional team. It's a professional program, and they could probably finish, with about 5 or 6 wins.
Even do some unprofessional things off the field, like a lot of NFL players with the speed.
They're very, very Kansas City Chiefs-like in that way. But he comes from a program and a pedigree that this dude is ready to play. Yeah. So I see playmaker written all over him. Another good young player that's going to make a difference. And Braswell last night flashed as well. He made some plays.
Yes.
And it's shown from where? Alabama.
Yes.
SEC, ready to contribute.
Yep.
So I see first and second year players that are taking jumps and will add to the mix here that are going to make this team infinitely better if they can stay healthy. And of course, they don't have any of these ridiculous hold-ins or holdouts or whatever the hell's going on in some of these places. Jamar Chase now is not practicing. These are all title contenders and that are having to deal with all this stuff that the Bucs aren't having to deal with. And this is what the salary cap brings, right? As your players, you only have about a 2 to 3 year window in the NFL before, everybody, you got to start paying your great players that have emerged. And the Bucs have been able to extend that window through the leaving of Tom Brady. And then that is the genius of Jason Light, because he stacked 2 really good draft classes in a row. He's been able to keep his free agents and keep continuity, which is rare in this league. So there's a lot of rare stuff going on in this league. Guys like Tristan Wirfs showing up and being in practice without a contract, rare. Guys like Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield at key positions taking less money, very rare. The entire team showing up in the offense off season to get this new offense down, very rare. And these are things that are happening that here in Tampa Bay that aren't happening in other places. The draft coming to you, your biggest need is a center, and you get the best center in the draft. That's, everything is really falling into place. And whenever you study great teams in the past, Super Bowl teams, you look at the Bucs teams and even the Brady team, things came together so nicely. You get Gronk, you get some other players in here who come in and it all fits just perfectly. And you put it together, you go win a Super Bowl. I feel it feels special for the Buccaneers. You still got the ball's got to bounce your way. Your head coach has got to be good on game day, all those things. And even Bowles seems so much more confident in what he's doing and really has a great grasp of this team. So all arrows pointing up, my friend, as far as I'm concerned. And I think it's going to be these new players that make a big difference.
And speaking of one of those new players that we saw last night, Bucky Irving. I mean, how many times did we see him make plays out in space? And how excited I think a lot of Bucs fans should be with incorporating him in that offense with Rachaad White. So both of those players, especially Irving, definitely flashing potential.
Sean Tucker was having a great camp.
He is.
Speaking of second-year players, the running back out of Syracuse.
Running back. I mean, just making that cut, getting around, and showing that explosive nature, and that's the reason why they get him in the as an undrafted free agent in the first place, because he was largely disappointing, didn't know the offense, but now coming into his second year, you would think you're going to get some contribution. But I'm telling you right now, Irving and White look like, the best bet at this point, especially Irving. Again, when you get him out in space, he has electricity. He has that shiftiness. Our old friend, TJ Reeves, I keep on going back to this. 25 years, a clone of Warrick Dunn. I don't know if he's Warrick Dunn, but he definitely has, some of those measurables, some of those attributes, some of that speed, and again, the explosive nature that makes him special to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, and I love watching those night practices. It really has a kind of a game feel to it, and
Yes.
as we go, and then there was the second and third teamers, Kyle Trask leading the second team and third teamers down the field in a 2-minute drill, capped off by a Sean Tucker 20-yard run up the middle, just great blocking and burst through, and he was celebrating like he was in the SEC championship game. Good for him, for him, and we'll see a lot of that in the preseason games. But by the way, Bears coming up. Bears, who are they playing? Bears, Bengals in the Hall of Fame game.
And I heard no first teamers are playing.
Well, they never do.
To the disappointment of all the Caleb William fans out there
which is weird. The dude's, in the NFL. I mean, he's the number 1 pick. He needs to play. The way they treat these quarterbacks with kid gloves these days in the preseason, I mean, he's got to play. You got to get him out there.
But then you worry about an injury. That's what it all comes down to.
Football, man. The kid's got to play.
Right.
If he doesn't play in the preseason, the first half of the season, with all these huge expectations, he's going to be behind the 8 ball.
It just tells you how much preseason matters. It's stupid preseason. Most likely they make, all their analysis or all your judgments during training camp. And that's what they're looking at. And I get it. It's all about getting gameplay in those game time situations. Like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, they've been there before. You're able to rest them. This kid has not been there before. He has not been in those game situations. So you're exactly right. You like to get him a series or two, but they're not doing it. So I don't know why you have this Hall of Fame game in the first place, besides the fact that a guy that I got a chance to interview just a couple years ago, the night before the Super Bowl, Devin Hester, with asking him, does he belong in the Hall of Fame? And him coming back on me and saying, do you think I belong in Hall? I know you belong in the Hall of Fame. You tell the people out there why you belong. And he definitely is going in there. And I tell you right now, if Hester was in the NFL with the new, and we watched that was weird. Was it not, when we watched the new kickoff and everything? Yeah. It just seemed very.
I was talking about that earlier, and it looks weird. But hopefully the Bucs will turn it into a plus with Bucky Irving. We shall see.
Yes.
All right, let's take our first break here, my friend. And we'll thank the folks at the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. Our first hour presented by the great folks at the Jeeves Law Group. Scott Jeeves, a great attorney, good buddy of mine, and one of the 10 possible mediators in the FSU ACC case, because that's how he is thought of in the legal profession. Absolutely tremendous professional, aggressive attorney, and he will help you if you have any issues with an insurance company, any issues if you got into an accident, anything at all in the legal realm. The Jeeves Law Group can help you out. Go to their website, jeeveslawgroup.com, and tell them JP sent you. All right, quick break. We'll be back in 3. I'm going to get to the comments. You guys ask your questions. We'll get to that next, and we'll talk some Rays. Stay with us. Get ready to dazzle this summer with the largest jewelry collection at the Gold and Diamond Source. Feel the heat of July with the fiery brilliance of ruby. That's July's birthstone, ruby. Well, that's my birthstone. I'll take one. It's perfect for adding a touch of luxury to your summer style. Embrace the unique beauty and significance of July's gemstone for any occasion, from beach parties to evening soirees, and mark a special 15th anniversary with a stunning ruby, the traditional gem of this very important milestone. And take advantage of our exclusive offer, 5 years of interest-free financing. That means you can own a $5,000 ring or watch or anything and pay only $83 a month with zero interest. And when you shop online, you can enjoy a special summer discount of 15% off July's birthstone. Make this summer unforgettable by visiting the Golden Diamond Source and finding the perfect piece to shine in the sun. It's the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Omerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. As we head into summer and hurricane season, you must make sure that your home is fully insured. Over 40% of people in Florida are not fully insured because Property rates have gone up lately. Your home is worth more, so it needs to be insured. Call the great folks at Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799 to make sure you're fully insured. And also, you might just save some money. There are new companies coming into the state all the time. In fact, we just shopped our homeowners insurance, and I'm telling you, folks, we saved over $550 because Charity, the great customer service at Italiano Insurance, did all the work and found us a better company and a cheaper company. She'll do the same for you. 813-877-7799. Do something about these high rates. Shop them around. Could save you lots of money. It's Italiano Insurance. Been doing business here locally for over 60 years. 813-877-7799. Tell them JP sent you.
Hey, Tampa Bay sports fans. This is two-time LPGA major champion Jane Geddes here. After winning the U.S. Open and 10 other LPGA events, I wanted to try something completely different. So I came right off the top turnbuckle and landed in the crazy world of WWE. And yes, you heard that right. That's WWE. Working for the Vince McMahon as the VP of Talent Relations for the company. Now, though, I want to work for you. Everything I've done in my life, I've done with incredible passion. And now I've turned my focus to leading the best real estate team in Tampa Bay, the Geddes Gordon Group with Keller Williams in South Tampa. If you're looking for a new home, an investment property, or looking to sell your current home, we will give you major championship level service. When you choose Geddes Gordon Group, you become part of our inner circle, like family. So if you're looking for a few golf tips or a golf course view, we're going to stripe it right down the fairway. Call me at 813-485-6808 or go to gettysgordongroup.com, or again, give me a ring at 813-485-6808.
JP here for Third Generation AC and Plumbing. And Third Generation really says it all, folks. The owner, my friend John Rodriguez, has been in the AC and plumbing business since 1995. They built their business on honest assessments and doing great work on time for a great price. Simple, right? Did you know many AC techs are incentivized on big commissions to sell new AC units, and you might just need a drain cleared? So if you want someone you can trust, that's John Rodriguez and Third Generation Services. Check out the 5-star Google reviews. If you have a plumbing or AC emergency, call 813-961-8024 and a human will answer the phone. That's 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here as we roll on this hump day. Peter Blake joining me here as he did last night.
Yes,
the,
absolutely.
Buccaneers night practice, very well attended. Saw some celebs there last night.
Yeah, that we did see some
All
celebs.
the NFL Network people were here. They had Sarah Walsh hosting with Baldy and
Locally, by the way, she's from Gulf High School. Did you know that?
I did, yes.
Gulf High School right down the street from where I used to go to high school. By the way, that high school doesn't even exist anymore in Ridgewood High School. So they're building up golf at this point. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Well, welcome back. We're brought to you by the Top Tracer Golf Range out at Rogers Park. If you have not visited that yet, golfers, please get out there. Have the Top Tracer technology, 10 brand new bays. Got the bar right there, big fans, cool you off. And then there's the Top Tracer thing right there. So you hit your shot. And if you're playing, you could put Pebble Beach up there, which we were doing. You could say, oh, we'll play number 7, the downhill par 3. And then, hit it over into the water, into the Pacific Ocean. That's right. You can hit your ball into the Pacific Ocean at Rogers Park. See, is it real or is it not? It's really, really fun. And just $25 per bay, includes all the balls for an hour, up to 35 for medium times, and then 45 for peak times, which is way less than Top Golf and some of these other Top Tracer ranges are charging like $75 an hour. So head on out there, get your buddies, 4 per bay, and you can split it. You can split the cost. That's it. That's way cheaper than a race ticket. I can tell you that right now.
It is way cheaper than the Rays ticket, but the Rays, don't look now. They had a great day.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. I want to clean up our first Buccaneers segment here.
Please do. Let's do that.
Some of the great comments. Nathan Elliott, good morning to you. Said had a good time at the Buccaneers crew member autograph session yesterday. Yeah, they brought in all the crew members, came in, and they had the tables set up, and there were all the, Tristan Wirfs, Baker Mayfield, all of them signing autographs for hours. It was Really, really cool. It pays to be a member of the crew, folks. If you're a Bucks fan, they really, really do some great things out there. Saw Brian Ford, COO, out there, friend of the show.
Yep.
Passing out waters and popsicles like he always does.
Good thing.
Christopher Soul said, I watched it and that river looks nasty. Did they actually do the triathlon in the river? They were supposed to do that today.
I have no idea.
We'll do our Olympic segment a little bit later on. Good morning to you, Bucks, Rays, Bolts. James says, I've been saying all offseason this offense is going to be explosive. If D improves, the Bucks will win 12. I think it's possible, James. I really do.
Love it.
I really do.
I say 11, but 12 is certainly possible also if things go right and, the transition to the new offense. And I think these rookies are going to have something to say. Who has a bigger impact at this point, in your opinion? Let's throw this out there to the Bucks fans. Is it a Jalen McMillan or is it a Bucky Irving, guys? Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It's on the JP Peterson Show.
All right. James says, pundits look at Bucks' schedule and find many losses, but the offense is going to be deadly and the defense could be better than 2002. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't think we got 2002 Bucks defense. I'm bullish on his team, but we're not there yet. Bucks will win many games they are expected to lose. I think that's true. I think that's true.
I mean, if anything at all, Yaya Diaby, like you said, he was just a man among boys, just all over the place and just huge. Like number 0, I don't even think he fits his uniform. He's so big, and you could just see him flashing all around the place, whether it was an end around, whether it was stopping the run, whether it was getting after the quarterback, just everywhere. And I just don't understand this, JP, how a guy like that would last until the third round. Have no idea.
Well, he's raw. He's raw.
Right.
I think a lot of people saw him as a very raw project type of player. But that's where, Jason Light and his staff have done such a great job of finding these really impactful players. I mean, they could have 2 Pro Bowl players taken in the third round in back-to-back drafts. I think that's extremely possible, and that's rare. I mean, that's really, really rare. And then talk about Yaya Diaby and Jalen McMillan this year. Rick says Peter was late because he was out celebrating with Stu last night over the Pinellas County vote yesterday. Champagne and caviar on the yacht.
Yeah,
Are you a plant? Are you a turncoat?
I'm definitely not. And I even told you off air, once Stu does decide to sell the Rays, hopefully sooner than later, I'm going to probably have to be tested for alcohol poisoning at this point because I'm going to do as many shots as I can. I'm going to drink as much as I can. I'm going to call into all my 4 jobs here and say I'm going to be out because I'm going to have a party.
Well, that's what I'm going to get to the Rays segment here in just a second. That's going to kind of be my take on that whole deal. So stand by for that, Rays.
Stand by
for that. We'll get to the Rays. Bucks Rays Bolt says Rays look great after last night's win. Still in the hunt. 3 games above 500. Do we turn the corner? I have some thoughts on that.
And that's Eric, by the way, right there. Bucks Rays Bolts. Thanks a lot for tuning in on YouTube.
Yep.
We appreciate
Rick, maybe Jason could trade Randy Gregory to the Pats for June. Then we'll definitely have a boat parade, bro.
Wow.
Then we'll definitely have a boat parade.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Oh,
Nathan said, if Caleb Williams is not ready for the regular season, I am good with that. Let the Bears be the Bears. Let them fit. Oh, hell yeah. I mean, I'm all. How do you the number 1 overall pick? Okay, he's got to get used to his receivers. How many opportunities before the season starts are you going to be able to get him under the lights in a kind of a big time atmosphere in the NFL? Get those jitters out. Why would you wait? Why would you not give him 2 series?
Right.
I mean, it's so stupid.
I don't understand.
Yes, Bears being Bears.
Yeah. Gotta love
it. Christopher Cole says, congrats to the USA women's rugby team. They won bronze. This one girl, it wasn't Maher, but some other girl ran like 80 yards for a try. Saw that this morning on the women's rugby team gets a medal. Okay. Bucks want this year. I mean, of course they want it. Are they ready to win a Super Bowl?
We'll see. We'll see.
Coming around.
Right. I mean, I think the excitement is there.
Nathan got 56 autographs in 45 minutes.
Wow.
Damn, bro.
56 autographs in 45 minutes.
What's your secret?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much energy do you have?
Yeah.
Drinking lots of coffee there.
James Ludeman jumping in. You should watch the Bucks behind the scenes thing on YouTube. Really deep dive on the recruiting process. Yeah, that's the In the Current, right? Flash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yes.
great piece. They do such their website and their
it's amazing.
content. They get great access, but they just do a fantastic job with it. They do this other thing that Graham Barton was talking about yesterday, the real-time practice video.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're doing 2 pregame specials for MOR games this year, the Ravens game and the Kansas City. I'll be going to Kansas City to do that game the day before the election. Holy crap.
Oh, wow.
I'll be flying back on election day. It's not a good plan. It's not a good – but anyway, so it's real-time. And so Graham Barton was talking about this. He'll take the tablet and he'll look at his reps on video while he's at practice. I'm like, wow. So I'm going to do a story on that. I'm going to try to get behind the scenes and do a story on how they're doing that and using that. I think it's very, very interesting. Greg DeCruz says, I think we need to temper expectations just a little. Very few rookie centers dominate right away. I see this team taking off around the midpoint of the season, 11-6. I think that's very, very true, Greg. It's difficult for any rookie offensive lineman and a center position, especially because there's so much mental responsibility. And Graham Barton talked about that yesterday, and he's been studying to get that down. Greg, he's a special player. He's a really, really special player. You see the athleticism, you see the smarts when you listen to him, you see the dedication. Yeah, it's tough. You're absolutely right. There's adjustment time, but he's already better than Hainsey. Like,
yep.
That's not even a thing.
Already talking about being a sponge, already talking about, the transition process, being having that physicality at the point of attack, using his speed. I'm excited about him. And I even asked him yesterday, and I know we'll get to that sound a little bit about what he thought about the other rookie there, Klein. And
Elijah Klein, his roommate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, if that guy becomes a starter as a 6th-round pick, Jason Light's like, they've got the process down. That In the Current is excellent.
Yeah.
He says, yes, but the current was so strong they had to alter the course. Oh, in the triathlon. Really? What a disaster. Not only you swimming in the poop river, the river poo, but now you got to they got to
you say poo.
Stop. Nathan says the autographs from yesterday include a helmet, a mix of jerseys, and photos of each of the players. Got to be organized and make the hustle real. Oh, you went in with a plan.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Scott Broadway says there's a new energy this year, even at camp. I'm really excited for this year. Yeah, you could feel it. You could feel it.
We could feel it yesterday. We could feel it throughout the night training camp. There was lots of energy from the fans and from the players themselves.
Rick says, remember, some people play center, others are centers. I agree. Totally agree. That's his natural position. He's going to be a good one. All right, let's transfer over to the Rays. Big win last night. Christopher Morel in his first game as a Ray.
Hold on.
First hit as a Ray goes yard.
Baby, go!
There it is. Good job last night.
And listen, all we heard about, and he's got that swing, right? I mean, you watch the highlight there, but all we heard about this kid was, listen, he's hitting 199. He's got potential. He's got those 5 tools, although the defense not necessarily in that. You're not sure what position he's going to play at this juncture.
Second.
Well, we'll see. But he's got lots of power, and you saw that last night. You saw that in June when he hit a home run versus the Rays. And you also know that he's a good kid. It seems like the Cubs were. I know there's a lot of Cubs fans out there, Christopher Cole being one of them, disappointed in losing him. The same age as Paredes, but of course the Rays as an organization, they look at his analytical numbers and they say, you know what, we favor him. He's got more potential, more upside at this juncture. And then on top of it, he's a great kid in the clubhouse. And you could see Jose Siri embracing him. You could see all the Rays in that dugout.
Cash said, stay away from Siri. Stay away from Siri. Yeah. No, they are. They're like 2 peas in a pot already. They already got their home run shake or whatever the hell that thing is.
Right. Already. Yes. Already. Yeah.
Like that must have taken some time. I guess not. Maybe not. With TikTok, they figure it out real quick. That kid has a lot more potential than Paredes. Paredes was a pull. I don't know how the hell he did it because everybody knew he was going to pull the ball.
Deadpool hitter.
Deadpool hitter. And eventually that stuff gets figured out. So, right. and the contact is not nearly, all the analytics favor Morel. Plus they have another year of control of him, which, for the Rays is important. So yeah, I think that was the trade that we were looking for. Instead of doing one of those, how about you do 5 of those?
Sure.
Instead of, because, Jason Adam, you could have got a damn good major leaguer back for him, but you got 4 prospects. And everybody's, it's a great haul. But Lesko is a guy coming off Tommy John surgery, as our friend Ken Rosenthal, who was watching the show yesterday, pointed out in his piece, that walks everybody he sees. I mean, his command post Tommy John is not good. He's got the velocity. He's got a lot of good stuff. The arm is live, but he hasn't been able to regain the command. And, if you just can't be walking that many people. So even the closest guy to the major leagues, there's some warts there, and they're prospects for a reason, folks. They're not up in the major leagues doing stuff for a reason.
Yeah.
But Christopher Morel is. So why not trade for more guys like that? Like Joe Madden said yesterday on the interview, why not augment your young players with good young players? When you make a trade of Jason Adam, okay, well, they got 4, top 12 prospects. That's great. Just even in the best case circumstances, 2 of those guys are going to reach the major leagues. It's such a crapshoot. I mean, they're the best at that lower level, but the numbers tell you not many make it. So, and I know they can flip those prospects for real major leaguers. They're not done yet.
Right.
This process is never done. Right. So but the problem is they never add to it with the bona fide major leaguers. That $55 million they took off the cap or took off their salaries this year for next year. Are they going to go out and spend that money? Well, they went after Aaron Judge. So yeah, they're trying. Come on, people, stop with that. Stop with that. I can offer Aaron Judge 25% below market value, knowing that he's not going to take it. Do I get credit for that? I tried to get Aaron Judge on here as a co-host. He didn't make it. But I tried.
Right. I tried
credit for trying.
Right. I tried
to get Freddie Freeman, but I offered him 30% below market value. Yeah, didn't happen. Knowing damn well they're not coming here to play in that stadium. So you don't get any credit for that, in my opinion. It's just words. Until they sign somebody, until they sign a major league hitter for big money, I'm not gonna believe it. Which brings me to the stadium. And by the way, Jeffrey Springs last night, not a great start. Gave up the home run early on. It was filling up the zone a little bit too much. Certainly is not back to the pitcher he was, but let's give him some time, right? Just 16 months after it, great to see him out there. Got some swing and miss. 10 balls were swing and miss last night in only 3 1/3 innings. So great to see Jeffrey Springs back. And this rotation is going to be sick next year. That's so excited about that. So here's the deal. The stadium vote passes last night. So from a government standpoint, most of the hurdles have been cleared. I'm still extremely dubious about this contract. It's the reason why all the commissioners had so many questions, and county commissioners. There's no guarantees in those contracts for a lot of things that really should be guaranteed. It's a terrible financial deal for Pinellas County, blah, 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 blah. Who cares, right? The Rays are staying here, and I do believe this will clear the way for new ownership because that makes, now that the stadium deal is done, and they get to keep all the revenue. It's such a boondoggle for the owner of the stadium, of the team, that makes this team even more attractive to buy, and I think that will be done. Hopefully in short order. So if that's the case, then it's something that I think a lot of Rays fans, including myself, can really wrap their arms around. And I think it's a huge part of why this team has not been as successful in attendance and therefore somewhat revenue challenged. And they're revenue challenged because they don't spend the revenue they make. That's the problem. And so getting new ownership in here that will actually spend the money is the key. That's the big deal. And someone that may have some local ties that we can wrap our arms around and move forward in a great way. And I think that's going to be a breath of fresh air for all of us to be able to, root for this team and not have to hold our nose. And there's a lot of us out there. Just get on Twitter and look at, there's, something like this should be universally celebrated, right? There should be an explosion of celebration on Twitter. And there is some, but you're also every post about the stadium is checkered with at least half, if not more, fans going, should have been in Tampa. I'll never go. Who cares about the Rays? You're done. Blah, 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 blah. It shouldn't be that way. There should be universal, acceptance of this is going to get done. This is fantastic. Let's go. Let's all move forward. But there's not. And there's reasons for that. Mostly that is ownership issues. So if that's taken care of, then I look at this team in a completely different way. It's like, okay, now they've stockpiled their system. They can now trade those prospects and bring in players that actually make money. See, here's the problem. Eric Neander can't complete the process because he would love to package up a lot of those prospects and go get a Jorge Soler. Problem is, Jorge Soler makes $13 million a year. Stu ain't going to sign off on that. Not happening.
Nope.
So, and those are the players that you need to win a World Series like they did in Atlanta. So once we can complete that cycle, now it's something to get excited about. This whole, listen, I was the first one out there saying we need to sell everybody. And so the fact that the fire sale doesn't bother me. The fact that it happened after the stadium vote, the key one was the city, by the way. They knew they were going to get rubber stamped by the county. By the way, where was Stu last night when this momentous thing went down?
I have no idea where he was. Probably
I saw Brian Auld was there, but where was the party? Where was the celebration? I don't know. It's weird. Yeah. After 15 years, you'd think there'd be some public champagne popping, but whatever.
You would think. Yes.
Anyway, so this is where I get excited. If will it work? I don't think so. Every metric tells you that it won't because of the location. But let's be hopeful that people in St. Petersburg, especially you people in St. Petersburg, get off your ass and go to the games. You businesses in St. Petersburg, get off your ass and buy up the luxury suites and the luxury boxes. The people that live around the stadium, the people that can go all the time. It's not reasonable to expect companies that live, that are going to have to drive 45 minutes, even an hour and a half to get to the stadium at that particular time from the Tampa region to be able to buy these boxes that they're not able to give the tickets out to their customers. So in that sense, I still don't think it's going to work, but new ownership may be able to make it work because of, their willingness to reach into their pockets and put the money that has been going into this team for 15 years back into the payroll. That would be great. So I'm done bitching about it in terms of where it is. I hope that we all know that that's a huge handicap. It's a huge handicap. And it's always going to be that way. But can we get behind it? And I hope everything is done the way it's supposed to be done. I given the track record of this ownership group and the lack of guarantees in that deal that they have to do it, which gives them options not to do it, not to do the things that we hope they will. My history tells us they're not going to do it unless it's going to make them money. So I'm dubious that a lot of the stuff that's supposed to happen actually happens. So let's see. Let's hope it goes through. Let's hope they build everything the way they're supposed to build it. Let's hope it doesn't take 25 years to build it, and they can get the deal done. And we can get into a new stadium, not the slop, that actually has modern amenities that we can enjoy going to the games. I'm all for it. I'm all for that if they can get it done right. I have great reservations that it will ever happen because this group doesn't put any confidence in that they can get that done from on a public level or a private level.
I actually got a video from the Rays about the new stadium with Evan Longoria. You said content, so
I saw it. Yeah, let's go.
I'm working on it.
Content.
Here we go.
June 6, 2006. That day was the beginning of my story with the Rays. Well, Devil Rays at that point.
The Tampa Bay Devil Rays select Evan.
I was drafted number 3, and it changed my life. My rookie season, 2008, a transformation to just the Rays. New uniforms, new color, and a new Rays way. It was a magical season. We defied the odds and invented our own math.
In 2008, 9 does equal 8. Rays win! Rays win!
And the magic didn't end there.
This night has been just bizarrely improbable. Swing a line drive down the left field line towards the corner. This one, it's gone! It's gone! Evan Longoria has just hit the Rays to the American League wild card.
But change is constant. You just try to fuel your growth while maintaining what's most important. I went west in 2018, and beyond the memories I've kept, I still have my home in St. Pete and visit often. Following this team has been exciting. Getting to see the 2020 run,
The ball gets away! Into score Rosarena! The Rays have won!
the long streak of postseasons, and now another new era is on the horizon. I'm so excited for this team and this town's future, as a ballpark like no other rises here in St. Pete. The Rays are building the most intimate experience in baseball and connecting communities with this vibrant, growing downtown. Creating new jobs, housing, more public spaces, arts, and culture, and setting the stage for the next generation of unforgettable wins. This is a place I love. For St. Petersburg, for Tampa Bay, and for Rays fans, the future is bright, and the best is yet to come. The Rays are here to stay.
Wow, it's awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I got goosebumps because you
It was
remember.
nice.
Great memories there. And wouldn't it be nice when you get into that new stadium that you could keep guys like Longoria around for the duration of his career, like a Crawford, like a Shields, like a BJ Upton, a David Price. And, again, I continue to be the eternal optimist here. Hopefully that's what your stadium provides. And hopefully we start to see more spending by this ownership. But a great video package there, some great memories, and hopefully you can continue those memories here in the next couple of years. We'll see.
Well, it's something that Joe said yesterday about bringing the alumni back. That's what he did. He always championed that, but the Rays, have gone away from that. Bogsy's told me a story about he, called the Rays one day and said, "I'm going to come into the clubhouse, talk to the guys," and they were like, "Yeah, no, thanks, we're good." I mean,
what the heck is that all about? What is that?
Yeah. Same with Freddie. They've never really actively, for most of their existence, really cultivated a presence from their alumni, which is not cool, because, and a lot of that has to do with ownership again.
Sure.
Now Evan, by the way, said forever the stadium should be in Tampa. He knows that. He lives in St. Petersburg. He knows that.
Sure.
So it's kind of interesting, awkward for him to be doing that video. But listen, we turn the page, and if they can build it like that, that gets me excited. It's great. I have no problem driving across the you just go. I understand why most people don't, but I'm a fan. Sure. If it wasn't for the the ownership thing, I would. And God, if we could just get past that hurdle, if we can get different ownership, I'm telling you, this Rays team will absolutely explode in terms of its popularity in this town. I guarantee that, because there's so many like me and that are just been worn out. And, unfortunately, it looks very much as excited as we can be. And listen, all these things that were said here and the videos were made, they all said the same thing about the new stadium in Miami. Same thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's going to be great, blah, 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 blah. And even though there were people, sounding the warning bells, like, this is a terrible location. What are we doing here? We're putting it in, we're making the same mistake again. It's way too over leveraged in terms of what they're paying for it. And yes, everything you always see in the articles is what it was without interest. It's double all those payments. It's $2.4 billion in public cost, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And the Rays are, paying $700 million. Most of that will be eaten up by, be paid for by naming rights and the ridiculous discount they're getting on the land that they're buying. and what they'll make in the redevelopment, which is just a gift that didn't need to be given. They should have been able to do it without that and not hamstring the city. But this is the deal they made. And if the Rays are going to make a ton of money off this, then Stu Sternberg is going to make a ton of money off of this. Let's hope they put it back into the team. The history has told us they haven't done it, and they won't do it. And hopefully he sells the team, and some of that revenue will be coming to the new owners. Hopefully he doesn't take it all with him. So
I kind of wonder if they did this video beforehand, because Evan was just in town with Rays Radio talking about
before the county vote.
Yeah.
Well, the county vote was, those people have been in the bag for a long, long time.
Right.
So,
I mean, I'm just, and he was talking about how
they knew they had that.
He's done with the game. He believes he's done with the game. He's in a good place at this point. But yeah, if anybody is Mr. Ray, it's Longoria, right?
Yeah,
So he came onto the scene in 2000.
It's good to bring him back and make him the face of this, and that's great. And
bring
I hope
the history back to the Rays, because the Rays do have some history. As crazy as it's
great times.
You have some great times. There's some great players in a Longoria. Of course, in a Ben Zobrist, and guys escaping me, Carl Crawford. He's definitely in that conversation, and you would like to see all these players stay for the duration. I think that's what it comes down to. So I'm hoping it works out. I'm excited about the new stadium. I just want to see some changes to it. Just tweak it just a little bit, and who knows? Maybe we'll have a World Series here and there. We'll see.
James says, so just disappointed at Tampa's lack of aggressiveness re the stadium. I get it. Stu didn't want to play ball, but Tampa never made a case to the public to get support. There's truth to that. I would say, obviously Ken Hagan did his very best. Never got support from Bob Buckhorn or Mayor Jane. Very, very tepid support from that side. And there was support to be given. They could have gotten this deal done. Well, I shouldn't say that, because they were not going to give a blank check to Stu Sternberg the way St. Petersburg has. They weren't going to just give everything away and just bend over and take it all. That's disrespectful to the taxpayers. It would have ruined their political careers, and they know it. And at some point they realized that he was never bargaining in good faith, wanted everything. And until, it never wanted to, and of course, Stu never wanted to be in St. Pete until they stepped up with this ridiculous, fiscally irresponsible to the taxpayers deal and gave him everything he wanted. At that point, it's like, okay, I don't want to do it, but I'm going to make so much money in this redevelopment deal, I can't say no. So they did it. So now it's up to the city of St. Petersburg to make it work. And it's up to hopefully new ownership to make it work. So we'll see. I hope it does. I'm all for it. If they can get it done. I'm a Rays fan. I'm a huge Rays fan. Yeah. But it's so hard. It's so hard sometimes. It makes it so hard sometimes.
Make it very difficult to be. I mean, especially with the trades this week. I mean, yeah, you look forward to the future, but it always seems like once again it's about the future instead of the here and now. And once again, they have 3 games over 500.
Yeah.
So maybe there is. They got a tougher schedule. It's coming.
Right.
We'll see how that.
They're still a 500 team this year. But who knows? Maybe they'll catch fire. You never know. All right, we got to take another break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll hear from Graham Barton, the new super center for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll get to the Olympics as well, and we have a guest coming on 11:30. A sports psychologist, Howard Shinitsky, who's written a book, The Champion's Way, and also another book recently on the narcissist. So we always love to have interesting people and smart people on here. So we'll talk about the Olympics, Simone Biles, and the mental health of athletes with him. So that should be an interesting conversation. We're brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. Shop your auto, shop your business insurance, shop your homeowners insurance. They saved us $500. That's right. We saved money on homeowners insurance. Who's doing that? The folks that are Italiano customers. 813-877-7799. Ask for charity or any of the great folks there. You'll get a human being on the phone. How about that? Italiano Insurance. Been in business for over 60 years here locally. 813-877-7799. Back in 3. Stay with us.
This is The Strike. 102.5 WHPT, HD2 Sarasota, Tampa, St. Pete.
JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, are you going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show? It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES.
All right, this is for all you guys who don't want to go to the gym and do 5,000 crunches. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, you can get on the new True Body machine where you can reduce fat and tone up your muscle. It's like doing 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Define your body as you see fit. True Body offers personalized muscle stimulation that delivers the equivalent of those 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Just get in touch with them at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Chris Lugo and the team over there will set you up on True Body and get amazing results. Non-invasive with comfortable and little to no pain and zero downtime. You can isolate and target those areas that you want to improve and treat multiple areas simultaneously. It's an amazing machine, so check it out at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com.
JP here to ask the question, are you planning an event, meeting, or conference? If so, you'll want to call the designers and production professionals at Extravaganza Productions Incorporated. With over 35 years of experience in the events industry, designing and producing every type of small to large event, they can provide a huge resource for design ideas, audio, visual, sound, lighting, decor, and entertainment to turn your event into an incredible experience for the entire audience. Folks, I've worked up close and personal with this group at many national events and Tampa events, and they have unique capabilities that help you save time and money in the planning and execution of your next event. Don't delay. Call these pros today at 813-621-4700 or check out their website at extravaganzaproductions.com. Tell them JP sent you and they'll provide a free initial consultation for your event. Extravaganza Productions, the best in the business. Golfers, listen up. The hottest new driving range craze has come to Rogers Park in Tampa. The Top Tracer range is now open 10 to 9 p.m. And just like you see on TV, every shot is tracked for yardage and accuracy, giving you immediate feedback. And best of all, you can virtually play the top courses like Pebble Beach or St. Andrews with your buddies. Plus, great food and drink options available in the well-appointed hitting bays. Very comfortable out there. Reservations highly recommended, starting at $25 per hour, including balls. Reserve at RogersParkGolf.net. That's RogersParkGolf.net. See you there.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show on a happy
Hump day.
I'm Peter Blake, along with the great JP Peterson. Open phone lines if you want to get in on them. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Lots of content today, so continue to tune in, Bucks fans. Continue to tune in, Rays fans, as the game is about to start here with the great Taj Bradley, who's been just unhittable the last month and a half now. So we'll see if they can take this little.
We have another 11:30 start.
Another 11:30 start. Yeah.
What time is start time?
11:35, I believe. Right?
Is
it 11:30? It's 11:35, I believe. Let me just check here.
Wow, they must have a big contingent from the retirement homes busting in today.
That's what they're trying to do now. That's the whole strategy here. Is to get
the
Gertrude and Winifred and Esther. Did I say that out loud? Yes.
Their money's green, right?
It is, absolutely. And excuse me, it's not 11:35, it's 12:10.
12:10, okay.
So around dinner time.
Rick says, I noticed you guys always say, I hope a great deal when talking about the Rays. Hope is not a strategy. Sell, Stu, you cheap bastard. Peter, first drink is on me. Trust me.
Yes, let's do it. And I don't drink, so you guys have to know.
Well, there you go.
I don't drink, so if you guys want to buy drinks on you, I'm okay with it. I'll drink them. If we get new ownership here, I will get dead drunk. There you go.
I just with all that's happening in the world and the economy and everything else, this stadium with inflation alone
Right.
is going to end up costing like $5 billion.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Good luck getting construction materials. Good luck the planning of it, the executing of it in this world. Good. That's why I say I hope. Does this group look like a group that's really ready to put together this humongous? Sorry if I have a few reservations. Look, you may have the money in your pocket. You may have appropriated the money, but there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. James says, after 2-year honeymoon, who still remains owner, this team will not draw flies if this ownership group stays. I think he's going to sell because it'll be at its highest value. Now that the stadium deal is done and all of this, it's so one-sided. Stu can, and the people that are looking at buying it, I'm told, or they don't want to build in St. Pete. But if this is the deal that they're handed, and it's got a lot of perks for them, and then it's they'll have to pay for it. $2.3 billion is the number I'm hearing. JP, you have a smart and interesting person coming up on the show. That's a nice change of pace.
Man, Rick, I like Rick.
He's the best.
Rick,
all right.
Sports Web too, please.
All right. So before we get to our guest, Olympic update.
Well, really?
You have any music for that? You have an Olympic update?
I
was watching Simone Biles yesterday and Jordan Childs. I want to get all the girls' names in here. Suni Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the other? Should have all the names. My bad. But they did a great job yesterday. And this, remember, Simone Biles left the competition in 2021 because she got the twisties. That is like, it's a real thing. And if your mind's effed up, you can't do that stuff. I don't know how the hell they do it. I marvel at the men and women gymnastics. I mean, I put my head down to pick something up and I get dizzy. The execution level of what they did last night is just unbelievable. And Simone Biles nailed it. She just nailed it. And she's one of the athletic performers I would pay real money to see. And just watching her perform yesterday and bounce back. And she even, we'll talk about this with Harold Schnitsky, who's a noted sports psychologist coming up. She said in the morning she woke up and she went to therapy. Like, how many people are brave enough and courageous enough to just say that? I mean, we got to get rid of the stigma. Therapy is a good thing, folks. Been to many sessions myself. It helps tremendously. And it's good for everyone. Should be part of everybody's mental and physical health. Just get the right therapist. And so that's interesting to hear her say that. And I think it's really, really, when you watch them perform under that pressure, the way they do, I think it's absolutely fabulous. So that was fun to watch yesterday. And now coming up today, Team USA basketball will take on South Sudan, who they almost lost to.
Yes.
Run up. Of course, they didn't take that very seriously. They'll be taking this much more seriously today. So it should not be a problem. If they were to lose this game, oh my God. Oh my God. And evidently they did run the race, the triathlon in the Poop River, even though they had to redirect it because of the current. You imagine the current, like, oh my God, what just floated into my mouth? That heavy current. I mean, wow. That's just a wow.
That's awful. That sounds really awful at this point. An awful thought by you putting it out there. Like that.
All right. So, by the way, did you see the Yankees last night?
Yes, Brett
Jazz
Phillips.
Chisholm. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Brad Phillips signed. Yeah, Brett Phillips. That's a cool story. So he's trying to make a comeback as a pitcher, and he's hit 97 on the gun with his fastball.
Amazing.
Supposedly has a really, really good slider. I remember when he pitched for the Rays as a position player, I thought he was throwing a knuckleball then. So maybe he has a knuckleball as well.
Yes.
So at the age 30, the Yankees signed him as a possible relief pitcher.
Yes.
Go Brett Phillips.
Yeah, the little EFIS.
Baseball is fun.
Yeah, baseball.
Well, they also went out and got Jazz Chisholm, who's now hit 4 home runs in 3 games, hit a 3-run shot last night, and a great comeback win over the Phillies, I believe they played last night. So the Yankees are moving, and they made some great acquisitions of major league players. And hopefully Christopher Morel will do the same thing for the Rays. He's a great start last night with a home run for him and 2 runs scored. So hopefully, when you add those people,
Hmm.
major league players, good things can happen.
It's amazing how that works. Do you want to go out to Kevin Cash really quick?
Yes, let's listen to Kevin Cash from last night's big win.
A lot of guys getting involved. Caballero, Christopher Morel with his first home run, Josh Loeb and Workvet. What impressed you there about the late game offense?
I mean, Ben's hit probably was the biggest hit of the game right there. But we had a lot of good at-bats, like you just said. You Cabby, Josh. Happy for Josh. I know it's been a little bit of a grind here lately, but he came up with some big hits. And Cabby, 2 doubles right down the line. Pretty exciting play there at the end. And happy to see Springs out on the mound. Talked about before the game, he's worked really hard to get back. Pitch count kind of got driven up a little bit. He's known to be pretty hard on himself, but hopefully he can find some positives that he's on a big league mound and contributing to us to win.
Was it nice to see Christopher Morel 420-foot home run in his Braves debut, just displaying that power?
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. We know he's got a lot of power. He hit 18 home runs in the big leagues. Now I think that was his 19th. He was fun to be around today. Just, I mean, the hitting great, but also just his presence in the dugout and vocal, smiling, kind of what we had heard. And then Hunter Biggie comes in there, and that's pretty impressive stuff.
What stood out the most about Springs, I guess, as far as the stuff goes? You knew it might not be the guy you saw before, but what did you think of his stuff overall?
I thought he had the add subtraction was there with off the velo and the changeup. I'm guessing, everything's probably going to spike here over a couple outings, and he'll work hard, with Kyle. But I mean, standing out is just, anytime these guys go through that. 15 months, 16 months, that's a long time. So hopefully that's what stood out to him, and that, we'll get him the ball here in 5 or 6 days, and he can just continue to build off that.
Does Cabby have the green light in a situation like that, third base, to steal home?
Generally there's some eye contact there, but I trust, Cabby's instincts and his awareness over there. That was pretty exciting play.
Let's go back to Morel for a second. You mentioned both the talent and the kind of personality. It sounds like you've got a pretty good scouting report on both.
Yeah, I mean, game 1, but we got to be pleased. I mean, he was, asking questions in the dugout. He was engaged, with the teammates, talking about the at-bats. And he seems like just a happy guy that enjoys playing the game. And, we had heard that Tomas has known him for, I believe, a very long time. So, Tomas kind of backed that up, and talking to Craig Counsell today, he reiterated the same thing.
So good night for the Rays. 9-3 win over the stinking Marlins. They'll play again today. Hope to get 4 games over 500 before the real meat of the schedule starts to hit them in the face. And we'll see. This is going to be fun. I mean, they got to, maybe they, with all this sell-off, they become, I don't think they're a drastically worse team, to be quite honest.
Sure.
I don't, because if Jeffrey Springs can replace Eflin and Rasmussen can replace Jason Adam, Morel can replace the bat of Paredes. They got basically that's what else did they lose?
You got Biggie. You lost Jason Adams, so you got Biggie there.
Yeah, Biggie too. Yeah.
So, I mean, he's
what
got
a name. What a name.
Hunter Biggie. Yeah, Biggie, and you got Cabby last night stealing home. How about that, huh?
Yeah.
Still. So I don't know. Are we ready? Are we ready to rule them out? Like when they made all the trades, they're like, no way. They're a 500 team. But you look at the last couple of years, as crazy as this sounds, right? The Phillies make a run. They get to the World Series there. The Braves are not great. They make a run the last 2 months of the year because of the new wild card system.
Yeah. Look at those teams, man. Look at those Ozuna, Solar.
Sure.
I mean, you got big time. You got Schwarber, Harp. I mean, you got so many big time players.
Yeah.
That's why, they go on a run. They go on a run because they got great players and great hitters. The Rays don't have that.
True.
They're not making that run. I hope they do. But
the September call-ups, you got Junior Caminero, who will be coming up. I mean, I'm just playing the devil's advocate here. I'm trying not to doom and gloom, because
listen, I want to see the young kids. I want to see them come up and play and do well.
Sure.
I'm rooting for them.
I am too.
Just trying to be a realist here.
Yeah.
It says, guys don't come up from AAA and right away light the world on fire. It's hard to do. I mean, it happens. Sure, it happens, but it's tough. It's tough to do it for an extended period of time and do it into the playoffs.
Yeah.
What Randy Rosarena did in 2020 was off the charts. I mean, it's never happened before. Hasn't happened since. It's very rare. Yeah, they can come up and do well in the regular season, but get into the postseason, it's tough for rookies to perform. It's very, very, very tough. So
Evan Longoria comes to mind. What do you got? 20 home runs his rookie year coming out there. And the same year they brought up David Price and went to the World Series.
Yeah. So look, I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him big time, but it's definitely going to be a challenge.
It is.
All right. What else? Oh, I guess the triathlon has gone off.
Yes. You're so obsessed with it.
I'm just like, I'm like, seriously, if I'm a triathlete and they go, oh, it's good now, I'd be like, really? Can I see your work? Please show me your work. Please show me the testing equipment. Let me see the numbers. I'm just gonna say I don't trust you.
Did somebody dip their toe in the water like Stu is going to do here eventually with Ray's free agency and signing big name players? Is that what it was? They dipped their toe in that water?
No, I don't know. I would just be a little dubious.
Yeah.
I still love the story of the U.S. triathlete who's been not washing his hands to build up his E. coli tolerance as part of his training regimen. I mean, that's just that's going deep right there. That is impressive. That's very impressive.
Discipline there, I guess.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's
dedication.
Dedication. That is dedication to your craft.
2 Ds right there.
All right. We will take a break. When we come back, Harold Chinitsky will join us, author of The Champion's Mindset, sports psychologist, also has a new book out on the narcissist. So we'll talk about both of those things when we come back here. We're brought to you by the Gorade folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. The 40th anniversary sale continues this summer. Great prices, great selection. You're looking for one of those baller watches, they got a great selection there, new and gently used. Everything you could possibly want. Ruby is the birthstone in July, so go get you some rubies and diamonds. Beautiful stuff. 15% off all ruby jewelry online because of the birthstone. This will be the last day of that because it's July 31st. So head on over to the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Wilmington Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. Back in 3. Stay with us.
Tampa Bay sports fans, this is two-time LPGA major champion Jane Geddes here. After winning the U.S. Open and 10 other LPGA events, I wanted to try something completely different. So I came right off the top turnbuckle and landed in the crazy world of WWE. And yes, you heard that right. That's WWE. Working for the Vince McMahon as the VP of Talent Relations for the company. Now, though, I want to work for you. Everything I've done in my life, I've done with incredible passion. And now I've turned my focus to leading the best real estate team in Tampa Bay, the Geddes Gordon Group with Keller Williams in South Tampa. If you're looking for a new home, an investment property, or looking to sell your current home, we will give you major championship level service. When you choose Geddes Gordon Group, you become part of our inner circle, like family. So if you're looking for a few golf tips or a golf course view, we're going to stripe it right down the fairway. Call me at 813-485-6808 or go to gettysgordongroup.com, or again, give me a ring at 813-485-6808.
Get ready to dazzle this summer with the largest jewelry collection at the Gold and Diamond Source. Feel the heat of July with the fiery brilliance of Ruby. That's July's birthstone, Ruby. Well, that's my birthstone. I'll take one. It's perfect for adding a touch of luxury to your summer style. Embrace the unique beauty and significance of July's gemstone for any occasion, from beach parties to evening soirees, and mark a special 15th anniversary with a stunning ruby, the traditional gem of this very important milestone. And take advantage of our exclusive offer, 5 years of interest-free financing. That means you can own a $5,000 ring or watch or anything and pay only $83 a month with zero interest. And when you shop online, you can enjoy a special summer discount of 15% off July's birthstone. Make this summer unforgettable by visiting the Golden Diamond Source and finding the perfect piece to shine in the sun. It's the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Wilmington Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. As we head into summer and hurricane season, you must make sure that your home is fully insured. Over 40% of people in Florida are not fully insured because property rates have gone up lately. Your home is worth more, so it needs to be insured. Call the great folks at Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799 to make sure you're fully insured. And also, you might just save some money. There are new companies coming into the state all the time. In fact, we just shopped our homeowners insurance, and I'm telling you, folks, we saved over $550 because Charity, the great customer service at Italiano Insurance, did all the work and found us a better company and a cheaper company. She'll do the same for you. 813-877-7799. Do something about these high rates. Shop them around. Could save you lots of money. It's Italiano Insurance, been doing business here locally for over 60 years. 813-877-7799. Tell them JP sent you. Are you looking for an honest AC and plumbing company? I mean, that's like trying to find a humble Saints fan, right? Well, try my friends at Third Generation AC and Plumbing Services. Been in business since 1995 here locally. And listen to what one of their customers said. Quote, the gentleman providing the service was exceptional, on time, knowledgeable, professional, and experienced. He was efficient, cleaned up behind himself, and did the work expeditiously. He not only repaired a sink, he repaired our toilet that was constantly running. We have used this company several times. They are awesome. Says it all, folks. Testimonials really say it all. Call 813-961-8024 for honest, fast service. 813-961-8024 or thirdgenerationplumbing.com. We also do AC.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here on this hump day as we talk some Braves and some Dogs. Peter Blake joining me here.
Yes.
We always like to bring in smart people with interesting perspectives and authors. And today we welcome in Dr. Harold Shinitsky. He has written a book, A Champion's Mindset, 15 Methods of Mental Conditioning to get you ready for sports. And also Me, Myself, and I, a narcissist's mindset, how to support and deal with narcissists. That's interesting. There's a lot of them running around here. Good morning, doctor. How are you?
Good morning. Sorry, I didn't recognize, just press the button to get me on board.
There you are. You're here. We see you. You look beautiful. Everything's great. Everything's
got
working.
it, Doc. You got it.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be a part of the team here.
Yeah, well, thank you. So I wanted to delve into The Champion's Mindset, your first book. I know you've been working with 5 of the Olympic athletes. We can't divulge their names for those HIPAA purposes. But I thought it was very interesting yesterday to watch Simone Biles come back from what basically was a mental breakdown in the 2021 Olympics. She got the twisties and she couldn't perform and doing things that she would normally could do in her sleep. And she came back yesterday, did the vault again, nailed it. And one of the things she mentioned in her post game was that she got up this morning and did therapy. And not many athletes will admit to that. There's still a stigma attached, but I thought that was very interesting. Your thoughts?
I think it's fantastic. Athletes over the decades have actually been kind of in the forefront of social activism, and to be able to admit that she is human and just like anyone else. So for being a role model, not just as a gymnast, but as a human, that she too, just like everyone else, regardless of the sport, it's an equal opportunity, condition. And so for her to be able to step down in the Olympics, a massive statement, but really impressive for who she was and what she needed at that time, brought attention to this. And as you said, now she's getting the assistance that she needs.
It's interesting, not only Simone Biles, but we've had some tennis players recently in past years just basically step away from the game at when they're 21, 22 years old after winning major championships because of the mental grind. Now, some of us, myself included, will say, come on, man, it's tennis. We've had golfers, tragically in the same sense, but for everybody, it's relative, right? Whatever you're dealing with, it's relative.
Yeah, you can talk about it as a continuum, the idea of like an anxiety disorder,
right?
Where we have a little bit, which actually is healthy for us. It actually is what wakes us up in the day or gets us to apply ourselves. We have a test on Friday. We better study. That's actually what releases in our system, cortisol, norepinephrine, and adrenaline. That wakes us up, and it brings us to your pinnacle of either paying attention at a presentation or competing. And then there's this part where it gets too much. And part of our job as sports psychologists is to work with the athletes to help them ascend to the optimal level of performance. And if they go over that, how to train them and teach them, because we all react, how to physiologically respond to bring it back. So decreasing that overreaction or overthinking.
Right. So what do you say to these athletes? Like, what are the tools that you use? Like the real tools, maybe us weekend golfers, when we're standing over a 3-foot putt for $7, can shaking can apply.
Well, I like the way you're just saying that. If you were just a putt in general, you'd be fine.
Right.
But when somebody says, hey, $7 on it, suddenly it becomes perceived as a stressor. So I always talk to the athletes about the 3 keys to life. And that is your perception, your self-talk, and your behavior. How you look at something, whatever you label it, it becomes, and your body reacts. That's the only reason why we even react, because of our thoughts, our feelings, and our perceptions. So for those individuals, we teach them to keep it in perspective, that in fact, it is just a putt. It is nothing special. You're focusing on the outcome. You're concerned that your buddies are going to just, make jokes about you missing the simple putt.
Yeah.
So you're focusing not only on an outcome, but you're focusing on externals, which have nothing to do with you. So the elite athlete, as young as possible, we teach them that those factors are irrelevant. Those are just distractions, and to just be in the moment. For individuals with the twisties or too much anxiety, we use what we refer to as the 3-step Olympic calm. And the 3-step Olympic calm is deep breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, belly breath, muscle relaxation, and visualization. If you want to be in the now, you must increase oxygen to your brain and your body. If you don't increase oxygen to your brain and your body, forget about it. You can't just will it into the. And so increasing oxygen to the brain and the body, take a deep belly breath, hold it for 1 count longer than you normally would. Allow the oxygen to transfer to your brain and your body. You think clearer, process information faster, begin to relax. Muscle relaxation. Because we all react involuntarily because of our thoughts, feelings, and perceptions, we train the athletes how to do muscle relaxation, which is you actually voluntarily contract your muscles for about a 5 count, then release them. You burn it out.
Right.
Followed,
interesting.
Which increases oxygen, and they're ready to fire again. So you never fatigue. And so you train yourself how to release the muscles. And I do it from head to toe. And so we can do it as a full body, or it could just be a certain thing. Like if you're a golfer, maybe your shoulders get a little tight. So you just how to quiet the arms and shoulders. And then the third part is visualization. When you visualize the actual action that you're about to take, you prime the neurons. So if you, before you hit your golf swing, if you practice swing, your brain actually has to say to the muscles, send this form of movement. Well, when you visualize it, the same neurons are firing. It's just not the motor section that comes alive. So you actually get the same practice swing. You prime the neurons. Jack Nicklaus used to talk about all the time.
Visualization, yeah.
He would go to the movies before every shot. And so what we want to be able to do is when you visualize it, it actually increases your automaticity. It becomes automatic. So individuals, we try to get them to practice this beforehand, so it's preventive. But even when they do react, you can use it as an intervention to quiet the body and bring yourself back.
Doc, how important is it for a routine or superstition for an athlete's mindset? Because I'll go back to this. I mean, I think there's some type of routine there. And if that's, basically not there, how, in your opinion, does it affect an athlete's performance?
If I can unpack what you said there, there's routine, and then you said like superstition or rituals.
Right.
I'm not one who encourages rituals or superstitions. It's adorable what we do as a species. Let me turn my hat inside out, upside down. That's going to bring my team back. It took me years to realize screaming at the TV didn't make it different. But routines are really good. The ability to create kind of like a home court advantage. Let's see, what time do I go to bed? When do I wake up? When do I get my nutrition? I get even my nutritional aspects. How much time do I need to warm up ahead of time? What aspects during competition do I get into that provides a routine? So I would say It is an absolute. Everyone has a pre-shot routine at the
Right,
elite
right.
level.
Yeah.
What I also teach, and it's equally important, is a post-shot routine. So you do whatever you do pre-shot.
Right.
Post the shot, if you drive the ball, 250 yards up the fairway, you're like, yeah, I'm the man.
Right.
But you don't learn from your emotion. And if you happen to slice it into the rough, you're like, ugh, I stink. Well, I don't learn from my emotion. So I ask everybody to practice a post-shot routine, which is 3 questions. What was the plan? What actually happened? What do I learn from it? And when you do that, you actually change the area of the brain that's firing. So when you react emotionally,
right,
you're not learning. That's lower. That's the amygdala. That's the limbic region of the brain. But what you want to do is actually change the area of the brain that's firing, which is to learn. And that is to ask yourself these questions. What was the plan? What actually happened? What do I learn from it? PAL, plan, actual, learn. It's like giving yourself a private lesson from you to you.
Yeah.
So if I hit it 250, well, what was it that I did in order to? Well, I was quiet. I kept my head down. I followed through fully. If I sliced it, just saying, my bad, I'm just not going to slice it, or I'll try harder. That's not learning.
Right.
In order to slice, the club face had to be tilted. The toe had to be tilted out to the back.
Right.
Well, how does that happen? Maybe I lifted my head, opened my shoulder, and led with my hands, but dropped the club head, causing it to spin. Okay, next time, head down, shoulder in, club face square.
Square, right.
So you want to be able to give yourself a private lesson
That's
from you
interesting.
to you after every single shot.
Mhm.
And then you can do the it's the
Pre-shot routine.
Yeah, it's actually the 3 steps for the pre-shot, which is the diaphragmatic breath, deep breath in, tighten up your muscles, release from head to toe, visualize what you're about to do, and go for it.
I can't wait to be standing over that 3-footer, and I'm going to be, excuse me, guys. And then get that. I think that might get more ridicule, but I don't care as long as I make the putt.
The cool thing is, the more you practice it, the shorter the amount of time to get to a deeper level of relaxation. So
Right.
we have the athletes practice when they don't need it. So they're like, I don't know if you saw the men's gymnastics.
Yes,
But
that was awesome.
The Palma horse specialist.
Yeah.
Well, everyone was just celebrating. He's just sitting there with his eyes closed. Michael Phelps used to do that all the time in the waiting room before he would go out there. Downhill skiers that I work with, before they go on their run, they visualize what they're about to do. The more you do that, the more automatic it becomes. So practicing it when you don't need it.
Right.
Then it's a short, and literally, like one of the hockey players that I work with, he can go from blue line to blue line, 2 breaths, and quiet himself, he points out. And that's the goal, is to get it down, because you just have to become familiar with that quiet state. Deep breath in, get in the now.
Mm-hmm.
What you were doing, focusing on the future, am I going to make that the outcome?
Right.
Whenever you focus on the future, whenever you get ahead of yourself, you remove yourself from the now.
From the now, right.
And that's the only thing that you control.
Right.
So we always talk about there's 3 ways to waste energy: wishing, worrying, and whining. Wishing the past was different. Can't change it. Everybody has show that.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing I can do that I've already done that.
Right.
Wishing, or the past is different. Worrying about the future. Worrying doesn't do anything about the future. It's just an illusion of control.
Right.
So the only thing I can ever do in life is increase my probability of success. Quiet myself, read the putt. Oh, and the last one is whining about things outside of your control. My friends making fun of me. There's a curious dynamic, and it's called the superstar effect, and they did it with Tiger Woods back in the day.
Yeah.
And he was crushing it all the time. If, let's just say for everyone's sake, 72 is the average for a round. When Tiger was playing in a tournament, everyone was trying to keep up with Tiger, so they brought their A game. They actually shot 0.8, almost 1 full stroke worse. And it's by virtue of this, I'm now focusing on making it a competition.
Right.
Versus just doing my best. That's kind of what happened with Simone. She was talking about the twisties. There was a lot going on at that time. COVID, lockdown, the whole Larry Nassar sexual abuse issues were going on. She went from being just, I'm going out there to do my best, to I'm representing the United States. I better do well. along with these other factors going on. So she was now, I mean, in essence, talking about I'm focusing on the outcome, my performance, not the process. All I can do is take care of the now. And that's where it's important, because if you get stuck in your head, well, that's when we tighten up. So the issue that comes up with the superstar effect, it's kind of interesting. What we see is a deactivation in the brain for the most elite athletes. While you and I, if we went out and putted, you'd actually see an activation in the brain. It's like, oh, let me read the putt. All right, let me get over the putt. Wait, let me step back and read the putt. I think I may have misread the putt. Now I have too much internal chatter going on. My muscles will now involuntarily react, and I will actually change my form. It won't be as fluid. So the most elite athletes have a deactivation, while amateurs or 10 handicappers have an activation in the brain. And that's where we come in. Our job is to help them to be able to quiet their brain, relax their body, and be in the moment.
Yeah. I found Tito's helps with that too when you're playing golf.
I don't think that's in the gold standard of therapeutic interventions.
Get my brain out of it. It's true. It works. But basically, because it calms you down and you stop thinking about the future outcomes and you're more in the moment. I mean, forever. I'm telling you, Doc, it works.
For what you're saying, alcohol, which is a central nervous system depressant, the first thing it affects is the frontal lobe of the brain, which is impulse control, emotion management, decision.
Get that out of there. Get that out of there. We don't need that dude hanging out. We don't need that dude hanging out at all.
That's like that internal voice that you carry around with you.
Yeah. It's also, we talk about visualization. For myself, tempo is always a hard part of my swing, but when I'm in good tempo, everything seems to fit. And that's all about being relaxed and calm and visualize. So I'll try to watch the swings of the players that I really like. Freddie Couples is my favorite golf swing of all time. Yeah, I think he's got the greatest tempo. So I'll take him before I go play golf. I'll look at some videos of him hitting the golf ball, and it's easier to visualize and remember that tempo. I mean, I think people think I'm crazy for doing it, but that's part of my visualization method.
There's actually some interesting research, not only just what you were saying there, but also if you look at it for athletes that are injured, while they're injured, we have them do visualization of proper form. And amazingly, a lot of the times the athlete will come back with better form than they did pre-injury, because they're rewiring the brain. They're actually, again, priming the neurons using the visualization of proper form. So you looking at Freddie Couples or someone else, for another sport is super helpful, because you actually get to see the proper form over and over again. When I have people visualize, I will not only have it from a first person point of view of visualization, but occasionally I'll ask them to do a third person. So step out of yourself, be like you are a fan in the crowd, looking at you, using the form. It's a different region of the brain that you actually fire. And again, that leads to more automaticity.
Love it. Dr. Harold Shinitsky joining us here. Go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, no, I mean, why do athletes struggle so much, Doc, in your opinion, to go to new places? Like Steven Stamkos, he's leaving the Tampa Bay Lightning after 16 years. He's going to have to go to a new place. Why do you think, and I'm not saying he's going to struggle, but there have been athletes in the past who have struggled to go to new places. Is it the pressure? What is it in your opinion?
Well, since I don't believe there is such thing as stress, because what makes you stress may not make me stress. And what makes me stress may not make you stress. So every situation is neutral. It's your perception of the situation. So as you're saying, if I go to another location and I now perceive it as I better perform, they have just contracted with me and I got a big contract here, so I better perform. Again, I'm now focusing on an outcome, not the process. I am causing myself to physiologically react. And when that happens, I start changing my form. I tighten up. When we get stressed or pressure, just notice what happens when you start to, you can see my arms are now tightened. And so if you imagine just with golf, you just move the club head a quarter to a half inch closer to you because my shoulders tighten up and my arms
Yeah.
get tighter.
Yeah.
We call those nano contractions. And you see this with swimmers where they use beautiful form. And on the last lap, they increase the RPMs. You have to still use the beautiful form. You can't just dog paddle and move really quick.
Right.
So you always have to be effective before efficient. You know, just because you do something fast doesn't mean it's well. So you always have to do it, you know, optimally, successfully, effective before efficient. And so when someone goes to another facility, another team, another location, that's probably self-imposed pressure and stress. So it's an issue of their perception, their self-talk, which is confirming it, which affects their behavior. And our role working with these athletes is to help them get out of their head and be in the moment.
Fascinating stuff. Dr. Harold Chinitsky joining us here. In your new book is Me, Myself, and I, a Narcissist Mindset. I think we've all dealt with some of these people in our life.
Yeah.
So,
unfortunately.
Yeah. And I know some people that have, myself included. Give us some tips on dealing with these folks, spotting it, etc.
Well,
finding out if you are one yourself.
Well, most narcissists would never admit that they're a narcissist. So to understand a narcissist, it's on a continuum that we're looking at kind of the extreme nature. That's how they get their diagnosis. It's not just some term you banter around. So there's a grandiose sense of self, usually without commensurate achievements. They need absolute admiration and loyalty. They're incredibly insecure because they can't even handle a difference of opinion or an adult conversation about something. These individuals, unfortunately, don't really experience empathy. So they behave in a way that is offensive. They exploit people for their own gain, and they don't take into consideration the impact it has on the other person, because they don't look at people as people. They look at them as objects that they can help them either get something from them or get to something. So a narcissist is not doing things for people. A narcissist has a relationship with people because what they get from it.
Mm-hmm.
And once you start seeing the narcissist for who they are, and this is the tough thing, most people have morals. Most people have a conscience. We want to do right. We want to do well. You know, it's good versus bad, right versus wrong. And so we tend to project our beliefs on the world. So, wait, I want to work on this relationship. I want this to last. Why is this person treating me so poorly? You have to catch yourself and realize this person doesn't live by my morals. This person lives by theirs. And if I now use a clearer, what I call listening filter, where I see them and hear them for who they are, they're not me, they are them. Everything they think, feel, say, and do is a statement of them. It's not a reflection of me. And so if I could see them for who they are, I'm not going to personalize their behavior. Now, they can be very devastating. They can cause the person, because of gaslighting, to question their own perception of reality, question themselves. They may limit your social relationships because if you hang out with other people, those people may question what the narcissist is doing. So they're very controlling. They can manipulate the funds in the family. There are overt narcissists who are bullies, and there are covert narcissists who in public look pleasant and nice, but when they come home, they can eviscerate, launch into, be hurtful, mean-spirited, belittling to a loved one. These people can be incredibly dangerous. And the worst ones of them all would be the malignant narcissist, who, if they lose a sense of power or have public shaming, what I say that they could leave what's called a scorched earth. The more power they have, the more damage they can incur onto the world around them. Because it's the old, if I can't have you, no one can.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again, they don't care about other people. They don't care about systems and society. They only care about themselves. And that's a scary proposition, the more power someone actually has them.
Yeah.
So the individuals, I'm sorry, go for it.
So if you know someone in your life like that, they need to get this book. So
if the book is written for the victims and the survivors of a narcissist, to help empower them, help them heal, help them develop a better sense of self so their future is actually brighter, healthier, and happier.
Yeah. All right, I'm sure they can get these books on Amazon, any place they buy books.
They sure can.
Doctor, great stuff. Really, really interesting stuff. Let's stay in touch, and when we see things pop up, certain things that happen in sports, we might go. Rory McIlroy, did he choke? Was he not in the present? Did he?
That was on the 12th hole on the last round.
Was it down the 8th? Well, what was it, 17, 16 or 17? Yeah, down the stretch, some really big putts, and on 18 too. Yeah, even the greatest.
That's true. Oh my gosh, that's
on
right.
18, even the greatest can in those moments. So
absolutely.
Let's stay in touch. That was really interesting stuff. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having me. I hope that we can make a difference in your listeners' lives.
I think you did. I have some people that definitely I'm going to post this and say, you need to listen to this. Absolutely. And you helped me with my golf game too. Well,
I look forward to hearing.
Yes. see if I can knock a couple strokes off that handicap. Thank you, Doctor. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Doc. There you go.
I'm definitely 100% going to employ those tools, especially like you can feel it. It's like, let it go instead of like just like gripping the club, and all you're thinking about is I'm gonna miss.
Yes.
And your self-talk is like, you shouldn't be saying that to yourself right now. This is really,
right.
There's a lot of stuff going on up there. There's way too much stuff going on up there.
Agree.
Oh,
And I felt like that the other day when I was trying to hook up in the heat, and I was trying to hopefully not to
hook up the gear. Remember?
Yes.
That sounded weird. When you're trying to hook up in the heat. No, it's when you're trying to hook up all the gear to get the show on the road.
Yeah. Yes.
You'll be like, what the hell's going on over there?
I didn't realize that. Yeah,
I was trying to hook up there in the heat. I'm like, Peter, explain yourself.
Hook up. Yeah, hook up.
Yeah, you were panicking.
Yes,
you were panicking because the clock was ticking down.
Yep.
And I was like, don't worry, we got the phone here. We're good. We'll get on the air. No worries.
Yeah.
So, but listen, I've been there. It's when you're in a deadline situation like that.
Yep.
You can either freak out or you can calm yourself. And I use a lot of those tools that the doctor was talking about. I've trained myself in a lot of the things that he's talked about. I don't always use it in the correct way.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know these things, and I try to employ them when I can. You should do it all the time. You should do it all in life. I mean, worrying about things in life does you absolutely no good. It robs you of the moment.
Yep.
And thinking about the past robs you of the moment that you're in. Worrying about the future robs you of the time that you're spending with loved ones, because you have no idea what's going to happen in the future. You can worry all you want, and it's either good or bad. The best laid plans can go awry. And it just the idea that you can worry about things and even plan for things and control these outcomes is really quite ridiculous. You have no control.
Mm-hmm.
You can, not that you shouldn't plan, not that you shouldn't, make good plans.
Write it down.
But you also have to understand the fact that you are not in control.
Right.
And to, get crazy and worry about the outcome of something that's years down the road is just silly. It's just silly. You have no control over it. Even if you're well planned, it doesn't matter. So chill, enjoy the moment you're in. And especially for sports fans, it's the same way. You see this all the time as sports fans. It's like, oh God, we're going to lose this guy. Or, LeBron's going to go sign with another team. Baker's going to go sign with somebody else. It's like, and you get all worked up over it. And then that never happens. And even you're going through, oh, this might be his last season. Well, enjoy the last season. I said this when Tom Brady was here all the time. It was like, well, he may leave. Well, who cares? Why are we talking about he might leave when he's in the middle of the season? Like, let's just enjoy watching Tom Brady play in a Buccaneers uniform. Who cares if he doesn't stay?
Yes.
He's here now.
Yes.
Enjoy the moment.
Yes.
And fans do that all the time. Media does it all the time. Oh, where's it? We're in the middle of the NBA finals. We're talking about where all these players may play next year. Who cares? Let's watch the finals. Let's enjoy the finals.
We do that too much. We do that too much as a society all the time. We always worry about the future instead of what's going on right now.
Exactly.
And enjoying that.
Stay in the moment.
Stay in the moment. Enjoy that, because like you said, you can't control it. You can't control players leaving or this or that and the other thing. You have to You have to enjoy. You have to take a deep breath, like you said.
Yeah, and this is why, the great ones
He
are
said.
so mentally good at what they do, and because they can calm themselves and take their performance to another level. Like they're better in the moment instead of shrinking from the moment. And that's always the difference between, the good ones and the great ones,
Jordan, Kobe come to mind, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
The Black Mamba, that's all Kobe. That's his mindset. Jordan, same
Fascinating
way.
stuff.
Yes.
All right. Well done, Peter. Appreciate you. Thank you guys for commenting, including Michael Sorgel, who I'm trying to get this up right here. There we go. Says, it's a great show, guys.
Yes.
Thank you, Michael. We appreciate you jumping in. You Bucks fan, you. Don't worry about the future. Worry about the now. You got a good team. Enjoy this season. It's going to be fun. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll be live out at Bucks Camp tomorrow morning again. We'll give you the first reacts from day whatever it's going to be on Thursday and Friday. Peter will be with me out there. So join us for that as we follow the Rays as well. Coming up here in just a little bit, 12:15 first pitch. We'll see you tomorrow.